Hi there, Dr. Ashley Oxner here at Health From Within. I wanted to just take a moment and talk to everybody out there about what we've found to be the 5 leading causes of back pain. So I want to start with I would say one of the most common of the 5, no doubt, is the disc. Your disc is an actual spacer in between the spinal bones, and when that spacer wears out and wears thin, it can really cause a detrimental problem of not just pain, but even other things like numbness, tingling, weakness into the limbs, and things that nobody wants. But your discs are made to last you a lifetime. The problem is through wear and tear, improper balance of the spine, weakness of the spine, and just poor spinal hygiene habits, your discs do wear out many times. So diagnosing a disc problem as a cause of pain is critical, and catching it as soon as possible is critical before it starts to progress to the point where there's not much space left. The spacer's very thin, and then it even starts to press and ooze out onto the nerves. That's when we have some pretty chronic problems. Now, that still may be treatable in a natural fashion, but the key is catching it as soon as we can. So disc, cause number 1. Cause number 2 is something called a facet. Just a big word for one of the joints in your spine. So this little joint right here, these posterior joints here, they make up something called a facet. And this little joint, what can happen is when that spine is either misaligned, locked up, or irritated, that thing can get really mad and angry, and that can cause some serious pain in the body. So the facet is one thing that we want to look at as well. Third comes something that most people just kind of think is a simple issue, and that's muscle pain. If you strain or sprain something, obviously muscles can cause pain and they're going to hurt, cause weakness. Now, those, if it is a muscle issue, those typically should heal and respond on their own very quickly. So if you have pain that's lingering, it's most likely not just a muscle, because a lot of times people kind of write things off with their back pain as, oh, it's just a muscle, okay? The fourth thing that we have, I want to use our model here to show this, is actually something called a rib subluxation. So you can have rib pain that will cause kind of like you feel like you got a knife in your back, essentially. So the rib cage wraps around, and my fingers will kind of represent ribs. They go under your shoulder blade like this, and then they attach to your spine. I'll show you this. Literally right here to all these joints, all the ribs just come in and attach. So what can happen through many different things, such as poor posture, sitting disease these days, this will start to rotate and turn, and then what we will feel along the border of the spine there is where that rib head actually protrudes. We can actually palpably feel that, and she has one right there. So that is a rib subluxation. That can cause some serious issues. It's literally, it can hurt when you breathe. You can feel that pain like it's piercing right through your chest, and it will also, over time, it can really linger and become chronic. So rib definitely is another cause of that. And then last but not least is something called just general joint dysfunction, but one of the terms we use in chiropractic is subluxation. That is a complex of literally almost all those issues I just went through, where we have muscle involvement, joint involvement, disc involvement, all of these things, to where we've got this whole complex of things happening with the body, with the spine, and with those joints. So when that's happening, let me grab my spine again, and when we have these misalignments that are out, locked up, now we're degenerating, we have arthritic change, we have nerve irritation, pain down the leg, arms, etc. That's that complex that we want to get a hold of quickly. Okay, so those types of things are our top 5 causes, no doubt, of back pain, and getting it diagnosed properly is key so that you can get the right treatment and get the right approach taken, so that you can not only correct it and get the symptoms subsided, but find the cause and correct the cause of the problem. Hopefully you found this video helpful on the 5 causes of back pain. Do share it with anybody you know that might be suffering from back pain, so that they can maybe get some answers that they've been looking for. Thank you, and take care.